I'm helping Alex work on his delayed gratification skills. End of the Road by Eddie Vedder for Mr. Alex Lifeson, supporter of the cause. Alex, thank you so very much for your kind, extra generous antics 2 live streams ago. Okay, here we go. Capo 3rd fret. It's a D chord, but it's not a regular D chord. Take your ring finger off, exposing the open B string. It's a D6, so just G2 and E2. Give it a strum and then give it some errant plucks before you move to E7. That is the E major chord, so yes on the pointer finger, but no on the ring finger, making it E7. Same deal, a strum and some plucks. When it changes, it goes to an A7, and we want the B string to go 3, 5, which is, I'm suspecting, how Eddie does it, because he's got those freaky pinky finger abilities. But I'm going to go A7, B3, then just open E. So either way you want to do it. I can't. That's so hard for me. To D. But the second time, to D, but then D7, and then a G, to A7 suspended 4, from that's the B string 3rd fret one, to a regular A7. So here we go, the first time. Second time through is exactly the same, of course, but you hear some extra fancies in the D6 chord. You can sus4 a D6 chord. That's moving your E string to 3 instead of 2, just like you can a regular D chord. So you can go on the E string 3, 2, open 2. Another time you heard it go up. For some reason it's easier when you're down here. Maybe it's because there's no strings to futz with beneath the E string. You hear it go regular D6 and then E string 3, 5 before it goes into the E7. As we make our way into the instrumental outro, the bass lands on, when we land on A7 sus4, that's the special note there is the D, and the bass lands on, relative to capo, mind you, it's really an F, but we're going to call it a D note, and then goes to C sharp, which is okay, because that's a note in the A chord, but then, this is the big clue for what Eddie's doing next. The bass goes from C sharp down to B, right? And I'm darn sure that Eddie is playing a G with a B in the bass. That's A2 and B3, and we don't want to hear either E string. This is the first chord of the outro. So here, context. A7 sus4, regular A7, to G with a B in the bass, followed by, this is really weird, I don't think I've ever done this before in my life, but this is what it is. It's an F power chord, so 1, 3, 3, that's not weird, but what's weird is we're going to leave the G string and the B string open and play them. To C, again, and then E minor, twice. And on the E minor, you want to give it 2 strums and then a hammer onto those 2 notes. So just no fingers at all. 2 strums and a hammer on. And then the whole thing goes again without the G with the B in the bass. So starting at the weird F thing. To C, F, to C, and 2 E minors. Part B of the instrumental outro starts as we do the second hammer-on onto our E minor. You're going to add an F sharp note relative to the capo, of course, on the E string 2nd fret. And then it's either our D6 chord, Being careful not to strum the E string, or it's an A suspended 2 chord. I'm not quite sure, and the other two instruments in this section each say different things, so I'll explain that. But A sus2 is D2 and G2. That also gets that B note that we need. Okay, so here we go. Either to our D6, back to E minor, or A suspended 2. Here's why I'm confused. The bass very clearly goes E, relative to the capo, C sharp, which suggests an A chord, so maybe it's the A suspended 2. But the other guitar chimes in when you go, it does the same thing but an octave higher. Grab not relative the capo now, 10th fret D and a G, and hammer on to 12th fret. And then this guitar continues along with a little E power chord, down to D, and I believe that's where we get that motion, the cowboy thing on a different rhythm. So this progression is suggesting E, D. The bass is suggesting E followed by the third from the A chord, so it's suggesting E, A. We've already spent too much time wondering about this. Play D6 or an A chord there, whichever one you like. And then it goes to the weird F, C thing. And then a whole bunch of E minors, right? 5 or 6. After those, it goes to the weird F thing, and I swear I'm hearing a C with an E in the bass here now. It sounds like it wants to be an E minor, but it's not quite, because I think there's that weird C note poking out. Maybe one of those unintentional things that just happened. Open 3, 2, but the second time, straight to E minor until the end. And that's it for End of the Road by Eddie Vedder. Boy, am I glad we did that one. Thank you, Alex, very much, and thank you all for being here. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.